Candace Owens has once again found herself in the middle of a storm, this time, not for something she said on her podcast, but for what she may have written long before Charlie Kirk's assassination. The controversy erupted after a series of alleged private messages surfaced online, reportedly exchanged between Owens and the late Turning Point USA founder. The screenshots, now spreading rapidly across social media, claim to show Kirk making blistering remarks about Ben Shapiro, a fellow conservative heavyweight, and revealing behind-the-scenes tensions that apparently plagued the movement long before his death. If verified, the text could pull back the curtain on one of the most public yet fractured alliances in modern conservative media. The alleged messages, whose authenticity has not been independently confirmed, paint a picture of a complicated relationship between three of the most recognizable figures in right-wing commentary. In the texts, Kirk allegedly accused Shapiro of working against him and Owens, describing the Daily Wire co-founder as a man terrified of losing control. One message, supposedly sent by Kirk, reads, "The Ben thing involves me more than he wants to admit. He knows Jon Snow is stronger as the dragons fly higher. And he is sending his incestuous brother to go try and kill us." The cryptic Jon Snow reference and medieval metaphors only added fuel to an already strange and volatile situation, with online users dissecting every word for meaning. In another alleged message, Kirk appeared to add, his respect among movement fighters is quite low. To many observers, these texts, if genuine, suggest a deep fracture between Kirk and Shapiro, a schism in what was once portrayed as a united conservative front. The conservative movement's power circle has always thrived on collaboration and mutual promotion, but behind closed doors, it appears rivalries ran deep. According to sources close to Turning Point USA, tensions between the factions associated with Shapiro's Daily Wire and Kirk's organization had quietly existed for years, primarily over control of messaging, funding, and influence among young conservative audiences. Candace Owens, who has crossed paths with both men through her own career at the Daily Wire and later as an independent commentator, has now become the accidental epicenter of this feud. What complicates matters further is the timing. The alleged messages began circulating online just weeks after Charlie Kirk's assassination on September 10th, during a speaking engagement at Utah Valley University. The killing, which shocked both supporters and critics alike, left a void within Turning Point USA and sparked a wave of conspiracy theories. Owens herself has been among the loudest voices questioning the official narrative, floating theories about political motives, deep state involvement, and, more controversially, alleged Israeli connections. Yet despite her bold claims, Owens has not presented any verifiable evidence to support them, leaving many to question whether she's genuinely searching for truth or exploiting tragedy for personal spotlight. Her critics accuse her of weaponizing grief, using Kirk's death to promote her own theories and reignite personal feuds. Candace Owens is turning a tragedy into a stage, one former TPUSA staffer reportedly told Media Lens Review. She's dragging Charlie's name through more controversy instead of allowing his family to mourn. Those sentiments were echoed online by countless social media users who felt her latest comments were both self-serving and reckless. Yet Owens remains defiant. In response to the leaked text messages, she appeared to confirm their existence, but dismissed the outrage surrounding them. "One of about 300 that I have," she wrote on X, formerly Twitter. "I have to think Charlie is in heaven laughing at the sheer audacity of Ben calling me evil and presenting himself as Charlie's defender." Her statement immediately went viral, reigniting the long-standing rift between her and Ben Shapiro. Their relationship has been rocky since Owens left the Daily Wire under tense circumstances, reportedly due to disagreements over the network's editorial direction and her increasingly controversial public positions. Shapiro has never publicly addressed the falling out in detail, but his occasional veiled comments about professionalism and consistency in truth have been widely interpreted as indirect digs at Owens. The resurfacing of alleged messages portraying him as manipulative or deceitful has now fanned those flames even higher. Meanwhile, Ben Shapiro's supporters are calling the entire leak a smear campaign. Many believe that Owens is capitalizing on a dead man's name to discredit Shapiro and settle old scores. One post from a conservative forum summed up that sentiment succinctly: if Candace really respected Charlie, she wouldn't be leaking private conversations weeks after his funeral. She's using his ghost as a weapon. Another user commented, she's spinning conspiracy theories faster than she can back them up. This is classic Candace, controversy over credibility. The situation is particularly painful for Erika Kirk, Charlie's widow, who has already faced her share of unwanted media attention following her husband's death. In the wake of the new allegations, several social media users began demanding that Erika consider legal action. One viral post read, "Erika Kirk should sue Candace Owens for defamation and emotional distress. She's dragging Charlie's name through the mud to score cheap points." That sentiment quickly spread across X and TikTok, with commentators and podcast hosts debating whether the widowed Mrs. Kirk might actually have grounds for a lawsuit. Thus far, Erika has remained publicly silent, though insiders close to her family say she's disheartened by the ongoing spectacle and wishes people would let her husband's memory rest. Behind the scenes, this latest feud underscores the growing fractures within the conservative influencer ecosystem, one increasingly defined by personal brand wars rather than ideology. Once aligned under shared values of faith, freedom, and capitalism, today's movement has splintered into factions driven by ego, monetization, and online engagement metrics. Candace Owens has built her career on outrage, mastering the art of viral provocation, but critics say she's lost the ability to separate showmanship from sincerity. Her supporters, however, insist she's the only one willing to say what others are too afraid to voice. To them, she's not stirring the pot, she's exposing hidden truths. Still, even for those who admire her, this latest episode feels uncomfortably opportunistic. The blending of conspiracy theory, personal grief, and posthumous messaging has created a spectacle more reminiscent of reality television than investigative journalism. Each new post from Owens generates millions of impressions, but also deepens the perception that she's exploiting tragedy for clout. Analysts have noted that her recent social media activity spikes dramatically each time she posts about Kirk or mentions Shapiro, suggesting that the topic drives high engagement and potentially high profit. The moral question lingers: where does righteous inquiry end and opportunism begin? As Owens continues to hint that she has hundreds more messages from Charlie Kirk, speculation only grows. Some followers have begged her to release them all, claiming they could reveal the truth behind his death. Others fear that the release of private communications from a murdered friend crosses an ethical line that can't be undone. For now, Owens seems undeterred, telling one follower online, "Charlie and I will laugh about this together one day." To her, the statement might sound comforting, a reflection of her belief in their spiritual connection. But to the public, it comes across as tone-deaf and self-centered, the words of a provocateur unable to read the room. The swirl of rumor, leaked texts, and unproven accusations continues to dominate online discourse. In just a few short weeks, Candace Owens has managed to transform a national tragedy into yet another culture war moment, positioning herself at its volatile center. Whether she's doing it out of loyalty, anger, or a craving for relevance is something only she knows. What is certain, however, is that her latest actions have reopened old wounds, not only between her and Shapiro, but within the larger movement that Charlie Kirk once led. In the end, the legacy of Charlie Kirk may no longer be defined solely by his activism or his untimely death, but by the circus that has followed. His widow remains quiet, his allies divided, and his supposed friend Candace Owens locked in yet another public feud. What began as leaked text messages has now evolved into a symbolic battle for control over his memory and his message. Whether truth or manipulation, sincerity or spectacle, this controversy has ensured one thing: even in death, Charlie Kirk's name continues to ignite the flames of division that so often consumed the movement he built.